Hi everybody, my name's Brent McGregor. Back in 1980 I started my own business, Rocky Mountain Timber Products, derived from my love of trees and woodworking. Earlier on I started out as a logger and worked in the woods for some years. I wanted a little more of a creative challenge, so I built about half a dozen log homes. After building these homes, it was clear to me that I wanted to do something on a more personal scale, even more artistic yet, something I could do on my own, and that's what drew me to the juniper trees. Prior to that time, in our area of Sisters, Oregon, junipers were used for firewood and fence posts, but nobody was really developing a line of furniture. They're very dramatic, beautiful lines in these trees, beautiful color bands and shapes that really lend themselves to the artistry of functional furniture. There is somewhat of a need for dimensional lumber for tabletops, bar tops, bed rails, times where you have to have a flat surface in order to make the furniture work. So I do run a mobile dimension mill and a bandsaw mill to get slabs and lumber. I don't use a terrible lot of that though, because I really don't want to do cabinetry work. I want to work in the round form, the organic, natural wood, because the shape of the junipers is so freeform, so twisted and spiraled, and different color bands, and a tremendous amount of interest in the piece of wood. Here you can see a very large column. I'm installing 2 of these columns for an entryway of a home. Here we're dropping the column down over a metal plate that will secure it to the foundation. Inch by inch, dropping it down, getting ready to secure it for its new home. Here's the architect's rendition, and here's the finished product. A lot of times I try to talk my client into something big on a large scale. I love the impact of something of a very large scale design. I'll admit it, I love tools. I love collecting tools, making tools, and working with tools. I think that's part of the lifestyle. The rustic style is finding and using these great old pieces that are still around. I've got a collection of 100-year-old woodworking tools, my little mini museum, and I love going out and finding the old molding planes and the block planes, the bench planes, the plumb bobs. There's so many beautiful designs in the old tools, and they're made to last for many, many years, many generations, in fact. I've built several staircases and log railings, and in order to cut my tenons, I had a special machine design which does a very accurate, precise job. The mortise tenon joinery turns out to be extremely strong and solid. It holds up for years and years. I love the look of the juniper in the rails, even though I pick straight pieces, because I've got to align and connect several pieces in a run. The design of the wood, the way the knots are and the bark seams, they just create a beautiful flow, a really nice feel when you get the finish put on, get it all cleaned up. I really like the look of it. Certainly one of the grand rewards of rustic woodworking is in your finished product, what you come up with. You're creating pieces that have never been built before, that come from within, and it's amazing how you can connect that from the raw forest materials into a finished product that become alive, that have a signature. This particular piece, I'm epoxying together several small limbs to create a solid sheet for this bench that is built out of diamond willow. I spend a great deal of time in the shop by myself, as I do work alone most of the time, but I really enjoy the interaction with my clients and with people that have taken workshop classes from me and that just have a genuine love and enthusiasm for woodworking, learning the proper use of tools and enjoying the creative process, to walk away in a few days and with the knowledge that they made something that they're going to be able to use.